Hey guys, Andre here, back again. It's 2016. I wish you all the best for this upcoming year. I hope you had a great holiday season. So it was quite calm and peaceful over the past 2 to 3 weeks for myself here. A lot of great family time, and now I started getting back into this cool figure hobby. So this time I got the Scarlet Witch from Hot Toys, from their Avengers Age of Ultron line. As you can see, it's Elizabeth Olsen as this famous Avengers character. So stay tuned for a video review on her. We start off with a look at the box. As you can see, some nice bright red and orange tone colors. What I really like is this reflective sticker tape or this print on, and you see also some purple colors. There's an actual photo of the actress Elizabeth Olsen, which I think is not really how she looked in the movie, but anyway. Then here you have the Scarlet Witch logo, and what you can see here, this is the MMS301. So we're getting higher and higher in these numbers, and I'm quite happy that we have a release next to all the Star Wars releases. It's always good to have a bit of variety for me. I mean, basically I have to complete the Avengers line, and this is exactly what I wanted to do with this purchase. So next up is the figure. So here's the figure out of the box, and let's do a quick focus topic on the head sculpt, because right out of the box it almost looked like this. So the hair is really flat to the actual head sculpt. There's plastic tape around it, and for me it didn't look too good. So, but then I compared to the movie, and the movie she had a lot of this hairstyle going on where the top hair was really flat to the actual head. But I think if you start working a bit with the hair and get some bit more curly, it starts to get looking a bit more better and better. So just try and play a bit with the hair. I think it looks a bit more natural if you don't have the hair totally flat to the head sculpt. And especially directly from the front, the face or the likeness is not totally there. I think it looks a bit too, just a bit boring or a bit too stare-like. But if we look a bit more from the left or the right angle, it really looks a lot better. But other than that, the details on the paint and the sculpting on the face sculpt is really amazing. You see a lot of details there. You see a bit of makeup going on around the eyes. You see there's a bit of skin texture going on, and so on. So these details are really there. That's cool. So let's continue with the accessories. So the first accessory that you get is actually just put on the figure. So you get it separately, but this is this necklace here. So basically you have two different pieces. The one on the top with this red power, this red amulet, and then a bit lower this silverish, whatever it is, with two gems or something like this. Then if we go down onto the bottom, you can see this is the stand that you get with the figure. So it says Scarlet Witch, quite a nice print on there, and it fits totally to the tone of the other Avengers figures. And the rest of this actual release is mostly consisting out of different hand sculpts. And this is of course the special item that you get. It's actually the ripped out heart of Ultron. So this is really a nice accessory for recreating a scene when we finally get the Ultron figure. But it's all plastic, so nothing really special, but at least quite nicely sculpted. It's in quite a golden, rusty golden tone. Then what you already have seen on the figure attached are these magical effects or these witchcraft effects or something. So they have basically no real holes for putting the fingers in. I think this one could be useful, or there's one hole to put a finger in, but there's no real manual how to put them on. There's something written in the manual to help, but you don't have a real clue how to put them into the hand sculpts. So for example, if I show you this example here on her right hand sculpt, you see that there is a on one of her fingers. It's going directly through the hole of the effect there, and that's about it. So you somehow have to play and find out how to place these magical effects. But it's quite a, well, a nice play aspect of this figure. So then when we continue to these hand sculpts, there are some different hand sculpts, and some of them are totally nice. Well, most of them are really nice. You have some flat regular hands without the magical effects, but they have some cool rings and stuff printed on and sculpted on. So that's really a neat feature. Then here you see one of her magical effect hands. It's quite nice to see how well the fade goes between the actual human skin tone into the magical effect. Also here. So this really worked out, I have to say. So that's quite nice. So let's continue with the outfit. As you can see, you get a waist grabber stand, and it makes totally sense because this figure has a skirt. But let's start first with the boots. So the boots are totally plastic sculpted, so there's no lacing or something like this. But well, that's okay for me. At least they're nicely painted and have some nice sculpt. Then you have these black leggings that can totally cover up these bit hideous looking knee joints. Also in action poses makes an okay job for hiding the joints. It might look a bit weird. Also here on this back leg part you will see there's a bit of a gap of a separate piece, but well, I can live with it. Some say it's a bit of a Barbie looking toy, but yeah, I can live with it. Here, as you can see, not both of these leggings are the same tailored. So here we've got a ripped out part, and I compared it to the movie. So in the movie she actually has a ripped apart leggings. So I was a bit unsure if I damaged it when taking her out of the box, but I think it's really movie accurate what Hot Toys wanted to achieve here. Then the skirt, or it's actually just a dress from top to bottom, has a bit of a bulge here, but I think it fits really the tone of the figure. And as you can see, underneath she has an underdress, but no other details. Or something like this, huh? Then when we continue to this magnificent looking leather jacket, I really have to give Hot Toys high props on this one. I mean, look at these details. It really reminds me of the quality of, for example, the Guardians of the Galaxy Star-Lord jacket. But here the details are really, really intricate. So here you have the seams going on, you have different shading on the back side compared to the upper part of the jacket. So it's all there, it's really high quality. Also here the inner side of the jacket. So this is really a magnificent tailoring work here. But then you could take off the jacket if you want to, but there are some bad joints here on the shoulder area. Also here on the elbow area you will have some joints, but you can use the jacket to cover it up in certain angles. But at least I think it's a more secure solution than what we got with the Gamora, because I mean this rubber skin arms are always a bit of a pain if you want to have a secure articulation, not to break something. And on the lower arm you got these leather coverings, basically just also meant for covering up the joint here on the hands. You have to say this jacket is really the standout piece. If you look at the outfit, I mean, without this jacket she would totally be like a default normal villain character with some glowing hands. So this is really one of the other main buying reasons here, I think, for this figure. I'm quite curious for the next release from the Civil War movie, because that's probably the release that a lot of people will be waiting for. But for some completionists like me, this is probably a good release to get some more Avengers in your room before the actual Civil War figure will hit. So then for the articulation, as you have seen, there's a lot of rotation going on inside the arms, no hindrance whatsoever, and you will definitely need this articulation to get some cool poses with the magical effects and the hand sculpts. But a bit of a downside here is on the leg part. I mean, you have quite a spread that you can do, but you have no rotation on the thighs, so no rotation on the actual leg here, and you don't have a swivel on the boot, which makes it quite hard to give her a good action pose, because I mean basically you can't really balance the figure. So even such easy stuff like this pose you can't really balance because you can't put it flat to the bottom. So it's a bit weird. So next up I try some action figure poses with these different head sculpts. Alright, here's one first pose I tried out, nothing really that extreme, but it looks like she's summoning these magical effects between her hands. So easily done, just put one through the finger ring down there with the magical effects into the hole, and then put on the left hand with this manual finger there. So this is quite an easy one to pull off, and I think you really have to look a bit onto some reference pictures. The Hong Kong photographers always do some great job there. So then we've got an action pose with two magical effects. The first one here on the front is just slided in these 4 or 3 fingers here, as you can see, and it's interesting to see what just by using 2 sculpted translucent fire or magical effect accessories can do to somehow give the impression of really having Scarlet Witch as a superhero here, because there's nothing much more to this character actually besides her looks and these superpowers. I think it's quite an easy solution, and these 2 magical effects really look nice, and they don't look like cheap plastic fire stuff. They really have some deepness to it, a nice paint application. So then I thought, why not to dim down the lights a bit, because I think the head sculpt and the likeness is a lot better if you don't put a lot of light onto it. So she really looks like Elizabeth Olsen, I think, this way. The head sculpt is a bit loose, so you will also notice quite a large or a tall neck. You can't really put the head sculpt a lot lower, so this is quite nice that you have this collar on the jacket to hide a bit the quite gap between this jacket and the head sculpt. But yeah, overall, as you can see, the expression and likeness is really there. And let's try out how it looks when we dim down another light. So that's really nice. Alright, then with one final pose, Scarlet Witch is summoning the fire or the magical flame on top of her in her left hand, looking directly into it. So it's quite simple what these 2 sculpts, these plastic sculpts, can do to just quite a normal pose actually. And I want to show you some other details. So for example, I just found out here behind her ear you have some ear decoration. No idea how this is called. I mean, it's a silver little sculpted or painted part, and here an earring. And there you see some detail on painted hair. And I think on the other side, if we have a closer look, there's the same style going on. So quite cool. If you have a look at the legs, they're not really in extreme posing because of the missing swivel. And as I said, I think the more wavy looking hair sculpt does a really good job for give her a bit more a life-likeness, I have to say. Alright, final conclusion on this latest release. As you can see here, Scarlet Witch is holding the heart of Ultron in her right hand. Let's have a quick look. The final shot here. So I have to say, it's definitely not a must-have release. if you're a completionist or a die-hard Marvel fan, it's a good release, and you will have two problems when getting here. So the first problem will be there will be another Scarlet Witch, probably end of this year, maybe beginning of next year, with the Civil War release and her different outfit, which is more superhero style. This is more like really her origin style, and not being a superhero yet, not knowing about her powers really. And this is also the fitting outfit next to her broader characters. So with Quicksilver you got a second big problem. If you get this release, you probably will end up getting Quicksilver release, which is basically nonsense, because the characters was killed off during the second movie. Well, you never know what Marvel will do in their next upcoming movies. Maybe they will resurrect him with the Soul Gem or something like this. We might see a little romance between Scarlet Witch and Vision, which is might coming up, but this is all future stuff, and I think for the moment this is quite a good release, but not a must-have. The quality is really there, but for the price of $270 shipped right now from Hong Kong, I think you definitely will overpay. I think it's $220 from Sideshow collectibles.com, which is an okay price. But for me, the standout piece here is definitely the head sculpt and these two magical effects, and maybe the heart of Ultron, which could make up for some cool displays. So I hope you enjoyed this video review. Until next time, and have a great start in 2016. Thanks guys. Bye bye.